Shalom, shalom. Giving our honor and praises to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shai. Got the Battle Axes of the Most High comes here on a Monday night class, get edified in the Most High God's name. Name of the class is fighting, disputing. All of the above, man. Looking at situation between camp on camp fight, man, and disputing, man. It's really like, honestly, it's something really sad in Israel, like a sad occasion. But it's not a devastating occasion because sometimes those things do come to pass, right? So we do know, brothers and sisters, man, that offense is gonna come in Israel. You know, but the scripture says, woe to them that causes the offense, man. I know, just like I examined the altercation between and I know there's many other people probably gonna do classes on this. Many other people probably already doing classes. Shalom, sister. On this same topic. So us as Battle Axe, our leadership here, we examined it, kind of, going through the scriptures on it, and just kind of gonna try to give a little brief recap of the video and kind of just go through the scriptures on it, man. I know when we first started watching the video, the two camps was they was right beside each other. One was on this side, one was on the other side. It was like a little thing, a little deal in between the two of them. And there's like a chair or something standing right there, and there's like a speaker. It wasn't that many brothers of ISUPK out there, but it was a lot of brothers of IUIC out there. So, first of all, if it's one person's platform, another person should be on another person's platform, right? And we also know this. I love them brothers from ISUPK, but they got provoking spirits. Like, a lot of times them brothers sit out and they'll get right across the street from you and they'll hold camp right there where you at. And that's I know that's a sad occasion. I know a lot of brothers, they might, I don't know, a lot of camps might not see nothing wrong with it, but as Battle Axes, man, we try not to work in that type of spirit, man. We try to be in the spirit of unity, try to keep ourselves in the right manner, the way the Lord gave us, right? But as we looking, man, first and foremost, man, this whole thing that we doing is for Christ, which is our head, and the Mashiach Yahushua, Mashiach, Yahweh. We doing it for the Yahweh and Yahushua, right? We doing it for the Father, and guess what? And not just we doing it for the Father. Guess what? It's like a hierarchy, because nothing can go to the Father unless it go through what? Yahushua, right? And we see that them brothers, like I say, if we out, provoking words, man, something that we got to start working on in Israel. Shalom, officer. Something we got to start working on, because a lot of time people say words that are provoking. And a lot of times brothers can't hold their spirit, man. When the brother can't hold his spirit, this is what we get out of this situation. And this is what Christ said, right? The book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. So if we a camp leader, if I'm, like I said, I'm one of the camp leaders over here at Battle Axes, right? So if I'm telling my congregation to go out and, hey, if another camp come around, hey, go at them, because guess what? I'm Captain Jerubbaal, and if the camps ain't up under me, then they got the truth wrong. Man, we not to be doing no stuff like that, man. Because guess what? No matter, and this, we just got to say it plain, man. Guess what? General Yohana is not over Israel. Yahushua is over Israel, and the Most High God is our God, right? Yahushua is the king, right? Let's get this. Guess what? It's not Bishop Nathaniel. It's not Priest Sabbath. It's not none of the captains over here at Battle Axes. It's not Yefta over there at One Body. It's not any camp leader that they got. It's not Naquam. It's not whoever a camp leader. The elders at GMS. It's the elders at IUIC. Guess what? The House of David. Whoever called a camp. Because at the end of the day, guess what's gonna happen in the kingdom? It's not gonna be no IUIC in the kingdom. It's not gonna be no One West in the kingdom. It's not gonna be no ISUPK. It's gonna be Israel. The Lord gonna be judging Israel, right? That's why the Lord said every idle word. You sit out there with your mic and you got brothers over here doing the work and you sit up here blasting brothers on the mic. That was the first. That was the second thing in the video. The first thing that was disturbing to see two camps right beside each other teaching. That was disturbing. The first, if everybody analyzing the video, the first thing that was upsetting, right? Two camps standing right, not even 10 feet apart, teaching right here together, right? As a second, they not unity camp. Is a camp over here going against everything that this camp talking about. If you ain't up under this, you ain't up under the leader of this camp right here, then you not in the truth. What the? Pull a precept to show us we not in the truth because we not up under ISUPK. Pull a precept, man. Show Israel, show the world of Israel that you is show the world of Israel that a precept, one precept to show us that we have to be up under Commander General Yohana to be in the truth. Show us one precept that we got to be up under any leader that's in Israel right now, that if we not up under their doctrine, we're not in the truth. Show us one precept, right? We calling out all camp leaders to show us one precept to show us that if we not up under your camp, we're not in the truth. Show us one. And guess what? Brothers can't find it. Because guess what? We already have established. We have a God that's established, and we have a king that's established, right? We already have established. Big Con office. It's already established, right? I'm gonna read this again, man. That's why brothers can't. The first thing is the two camps right beside each other. That's madness. It's madness. I remember back when I first started in the truth. 8-9 years ago, right? Brothers was doing us like that too. Guess what? Camp right across the street from us, going hard at us, calling us everything. I remember brothers in there going so hard because brothers thinking you got to be up under one man in this world. The Lord ain't dealing with no wicked ass Israelite man that's gonna fail him. He dealing with a Mashiach Yahushua, which had no sin, man. Ain't none of us know a Mashiach Yahushua, man. And a lot of us, man, getting this thing confused, man. And if brothers sitting up here and if this stuff ain't total madness to see brothers go like that, man, that's sad, man. And guess what? And you got people sitting up in these damn camps. Sitting up in these camps, watching a leader say some stuff like that, and they can't prove it in the scriptures, man. Right? Watch this, man. Book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by the words thou shalt be justified, and by the word thou shalt be condemned. So by your word, you're going to be justified, and by your word, you're going to be condemned, man. So whatever you saying into people in the camps and the people that you're going around, guess what? You got to stand on that thing, man. Right? You got to stand on that thing, man. Because there's a lot of people pour out madness and folly, man. And that's sad, man. That's damn sure sad, man. Big Con, man. We got a lawgiver, man. Big Con. It's just sad, man. I know we watch this thing, man. But guess what, man? I'm going to tell you something, man. How these brothers it ain't saying that contention is not gonna come. It's not saying offense is not gonna come, because scriptures literally tell us that those things gonna happen. But guess what, man? There's a way to do things, and a way not to do things, right? Watch this. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 28, right? Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 28. And it reads, the book of Proverbs chapter 15 verse 28. The heart of the righteous study to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poured out evil things, man. And guess what? And that's what happened. The mouth of the wicked start pouring out some evil stuff. If you're not up on the such and such, you're not in the truth. Who the hell told you to say some stuff like that? I know Christ ain't tell you to say nothing like that, because Christ said, I ain't come to do my will, I come to do the will of the Father, right? But a lot of times you see brothers that get on here, and guess what, man? You just see brothers just blurt out stuff. Come on, man. Man, look, I don't know how people do it, or I don't know how other camps do it, or how other camps say it. But guess what, man? We're going to trust in the Lord, man. Guess what? We're going to lean on what the scriptures say, man. We're not going to be playing these damn games. Guess what? We're not going to be going back and forth to going with the mess. Guess what we try to do? We try to do things of edification, man. And if you're not edifying the nation, then what the hell we doing in this truth, man? Right? I'll read that again. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 28. The heart of the righteous study to answer. Guess what? And this is why you think the scriptures tell us all the time. Get what? Study so ourselves to prove. Study to be quiet. Guess what? We also study, guess what? To not just for us, but for everybody that seek learning. We study for so many different ways for edification, man. But a lot of time people don't study for edification. They study for vain strife, man. And that's a problem, man. That's a straight up problem with Israel, man. Philippians chapter 2, man. It's a problem in Israel, man, to watch our people, get what? With their mouths, man. With their own mouths, guess what? Condemn themselves, man. Condemn they damn self, man. Right? Philippians chapter 2. We're going to start at verse, watch this. Philippians chapter 2, we're going to start at verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And guess what? Do you see anything in the video of fearing and trembling when the video first started? Because when you looking at two camps right beside each other, that's madness, man. Whoever, if we teach there, guess what, man? And you see us pull up, you know damn well this is our camp, man. Y'all, everybody knows how the rule goes, man. Then you got all kind of little old bloggers, Vocal No Swag, and his little old groupies he got with him. Guess what? They want to post, and all these different people want to talk, and this and that. Man, start analyzing what people say, because everybody don't have the right agenda, man. Shalom, brothers. Right? So the Lord told us to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, right? Verse 13. For it is God which worketh in both to will and to do of his good pleasure. It's only on God's pleasure to do his will, man. Right? Verse 14 is the point. Do all things without murmuring and disputing, man. Right? It's sad when we out here at camp. We out here teaching. We out here edifying. And guess what? And we, instead of feeding the sheep, guess what we out here doing? Going at one another, man. Now, I'm just getting into the beginning parts of the video, right? I'm finna get ready to touch on other parts of it. We just going through step by step of the video, right? Watch this. Because we already know why brothers on the block. I mean, scripture tells us to go out there, man, right? The book of Matthew, chapter 22 and verse 9. And it reads, it says, go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as you should find, be it to the marriage. This is our job to do. To go out, to be at our people to the marriage, right? Our job ain't to go out to, hey, the beef against this camp, to fight against this camp, to go back and forth against this camp. Guess what, man? Look, no doubt about it, ISUPK, great teachers, can teach the law. They got good teachers over there. They strong in the scriptures. But what they're but to say that you're not over such and such, that's a problem. If you're not in my camp, you're not in the truth. That's a problem. That's a problem. Guess what? We're going to start addressing that stuff, because that stuff is wrong. That's blasphemy, man. You just can't say and just add to the word like that, man. You just can't add things to the word, man. You just can't say that. That ain't how they go, man. We just got to start calling things out as it is, man. Brothers just can't. Guess what, man? When sitting up there, brothers getting on no matter who you are, man. You getting up on this thing, and you without a cause just start blasting brothers without no cause, right? I'm talking about without no cause just start blasting brothers. That's madness. Christ told us to go out into the highways, and as many as we should find. We're supposed to be beating people to the marriage. We're supposed to be going out the lost sheep, not the damn dead sheep, man. Right? Verse 10. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding were furnished with guests. And this is our job, to go out to the highways, to bid them to, guess what, Christ's marriage. Not our marriage. This is Christ's marriage. Guess what? We just a part of this thing, man. Right? So when we, guess what? If we don't do what we supposed to do, guess what? This right here's finna happen to us. Watch this. Verse 11. And when the king came in, no, it didn't say when your camp leader came in. It said when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had no wedding garment. You see how that goes? Shalom, shalom, bro. So he said when the king came in. It didn't say when our camp leaders came in. It said when the king came in. And everybody knows this is the Mashiach Yahushua. We supposed to be bidding people to the marriage to Yahushua. But guess what? You'll see conflict after conflict. Guess what? Brothers, strife over this, strife over that. Man, come on, man. Hey, I don't know who the highest on the totem pole or what counts as what, but sometimes brothers need a reality check to bring brothers back into understanding, right? Because to any time that we can focus on ourselves saying that if you ain't in my camp, you're not in the truth, you got a problem, man. And we got to start calling brothers out, man. That's not in the scriptures, brother. That's not in the scriptures, man. We love them. Hey, I'm say this over and over again, man. That's not in the scriptures. We got to stop saying this stuff, man. It makes no sense. Because like we say, I'm going to get back to the scripture, because it's telling us in Matthew, it says, verse 11, chapter 22 and verse 11, it said, and when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had no wedding garment. Now, it's not talking about our camp leaders when the camp leader came in. No, it didn't say when the camp leader came in. It said when the king came in, right? Right? Verse 12, and he said unto him, friend, how comest thou hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless, right? And then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and feet and take him away and cast him into outer darkness. There should be weeping and gnashing of teeth, for many are called, but few are chosen, man. And we do know these things, man, right? It's many things are called, man. I mean, it's many of us are called, man. But there's not a lot of people chosen. It's not a lot of people going. Hey, it's many people called. But that's why we got to pray for the increase, man. At all times. This is our job, to be sitting up here praying for the increase, man. Because a lot of people don't want the increase. Guess what they want? You think just because, okay. You think because I camp getting a lot of views. We getting a lot of gain. Is it for edification? Right? Gain something. Every time you gain something ain't always godly, man. Because guess what? I at one point, guess what? I had a whole lot of money. Guess what? Now I don't. Right? Some of it could have came from a good place. Some of it came from a bad place. But guess what? Money ain't everything. Guess what? Getting numbers ain't everything. Bid not people to the marriage, like the Lord say. That's our job, man. That's everything to us, man. Right? That's our job, man. It's bidding not people back to the marriage, man. There's mighty brothers out here doing work, man. Right? But a lot of people, guess what? They self-destruct. How? Because of their mouths, man. Watch this. Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 3. But he that keepeth his mouth, keepeth his life. But he that open wide his lips shall have destruction, man. Because just like you say, when you looking at the first part of the video, guess what happened? Like you say, you see two camps right beside each other. You knew off the top, when the video first played, off the top, when you seen the two camps right beside each other, you knew somebody was out of the spirit from the top. Everybody that's spiritual, guess what? When we seen two camps standing that close together and both of them teaching, somebody's out of the spirit. Somebody, or both of them, is out of the spirit. Somebody's out of the spirit. From the top of the video. Let's address this from the top. When two camps is that close together teaching, guess what? Somebody out of the spirit. What did he say? John said Jesus. That's right. Big con on that, huh? And that's right. Sakara, that ain't so right. That's what John say. Guess what? Because it ain't. I mean, that's what Christ said. Because if they ain't against us, they for us, right? But when you, like you say, the video first come on, you got two camps standing right beside each other. You knew it was a problem. Okay. It was just like we was sitting there watching the video. And we were sitting there watching the video, and it was like watching somebody put some water in the pot, right? It was like watching somebody put the water in the pot, and they cut the stove on, cut the oil on. The water get to boiling, and we start watching this water boil. And so the water start spewing out the pot. That's basically what we watched man. Everybody everybody that wasn't there. Everybody that was there, guess what? If the people that watched the video, I know when I watched the video, when I seen the two camps, I watched water boiling up. It was just boiling. It was water just boiling, right? Until, guess what? It blew the lid, man, right? Then, after we watched the two camps, you see one camp, you see IUIC, they do their little closeout thing that they do. I was watching them do their closeout thing. Then next thing you know, I hear a brother on the mic with certain words. He coming out like this, saying these different words, right? And he's saying these different words, right? And he going there, no one performs a miracle in my name. Evil 40, anyone is not against me, is for us. That's right. That's exactly going into what Christ say. Right? Boy, out in the elements in his backyard, we all kind of birds come out this mud, boy. But anyway, going into, like you say, you watching the video, you see, like you say, you see two camps, they teaching. Now you hear one camp closing, which means IUIC closing out, and you hear ISUBK. Words, study going at them. Guess what? And guess what? We know, and guess what? And even brothers here in Dallas, here right where we at right now, we hear brothers, guess what? We hear brothers, we done seen brothers right across from each other. Guess what? We don't walk past brothers, try to shalom brothers, brew brothers up, and guess what them brothers do? Guess what? I don't know if they camp teaches them to do that, but guess what? We got intel, but we ain't gonna go into that. But guess what? If them brothers is teaching them to go at every camp that's not with them brothers, hey, I pray the Most High God to have mercy on them brothers, man. Shalom, shalom. Man, I pray the Most High God to have mercy on them brothers, man. Because it didn't say that when we make it to the kingdom, we're gonna be going to ISUPK. It didn't say when we make it to the kingdom, we're going to be, all the camps finna go to Battle Axes. When we make it to the kingdom, all the camps finna go to Sakari. It didn't say when we go to the kingdom, all the camps gonna go to the IUIC. It didn't say none of that. When we make it, if we make it to the kingdom, guess what? All camps gonna be in Israel, and we're gonna be up under one king with one God, right? And we're gonna have the 144,000, guess what? On deck, ready to take control, whatever's gonna people think they're gonna go on, man. And then we still got our angels and chariots. We still got everything laid out for us. Many mansions, right? We can't get this thing confused, man. Watch this, man. Book of Proverbs, chapter 18. I'm gonna start at verse 19. It said, a brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city. Their contentions are like bars of a castle. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruits of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. But death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruits thereof. Because life and death is in the power of the tongue. To get out to blast another camp instead of feeding the sheep, guess what? That's going off, man. It's going off. And that's a sad thing, man. To watch brothers strife like that, to go back and forth with some, that's a sad thing, man. Okay, I'm going back to the recap again. 2 camps, 1 camp closing out, 1 camp going at an ISUPK going at them with the mic. Brothers grab the chair. Guess what? The brother from ISUPK grabbed the chair from him. Brother from IUIC pushes the brother. It's one event after another event to cause another event, right? Let's just make this thing clear, man. Because when you see how this thing going, man, I don't know how brothers feel and who think who right or wrong. Man, we gotta let God be true, man. And let every man be a liar, man. Because a lot of times brothers don't be letting God be true. A lot of times people let their emotions be true. Them brothers were working out emotions at the time, man. And guess what? I didn't just see emotions just on ISUPK part. I see emotions on IUIC part too. Because just because the brother grabbed a chair out your hand, you know what? Here you go, brother. You can have it. You can have it. Go ahead. But guess what? It was a brother. They had the verbal battle first. We're watching the video and us knowing what we seen. Guess what? It was a verbal battle first. Guess what? And then once he got a little close, whatever by that little chair thing. But one thing I do give, only thing I give credit into IUIC was about constraining them brothers. Because they had enough numbers, they could have did some damage to some people out there, man. They could have really did them brothers bad, man. But one thing I don't like about the fact with IUIC, the brother shouldn't even push. He was wrong for that, man. He was wrong for pushing that brother too. They was dead wrong, right? But like I say, the verbal battle, it was like the tension that was broiling up. Everybody know this stuff was broiling up, man. Let's just keep it real, man. We done seen camps after camps bang with camps after camp. Guess what? Here in Dallas, guess what? Every camp don't like Battle Axes. Let's make it clear. Every camp don't like Battle Axes, man. It's been a time that, hey, we watch one body blast us. Let's just make it clear. We don't give a damn about nobody blasting. We go to the Bible and let God be true and let every man be alive. We don't give a damn about none of that blast. You can blast all you want. We done had brothers tell us, Yahweh by Hashem and Mashiach, Yahweh shot, fuck y'all niggas. Brothers literally told us this. Brothers done told us this. I'm talking about done said it, talking about in front of everybody. Right? Them brothers get brothers got on YouTube saying Yahweh. Listen, brothers get on YouTube and tell us Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, fuck y'all niggas. Brothers literally told us this. Guess what? Who gives a damn about somebody talking? You run your damn mouth all you want to, man. Well, one thing about it, how we teach over here, we don't teach to fight, brothers. We don't teach we don't teach to provoke brothers. But what we do teach, we will defend ourselves if a brother, if they get out of line with us. We definitely gonna defend ourselves, man, 100%. That's how we roll over here at Battle Axes, man. We gonna stay in the spirit at all costs, man. We gonna defend ourselves. Guess what, man? But against our brothers, we gonna try our best to show some kind of restraint, man. Right? Watch this. James chapter 4, man. Try our best to show some restraint. But guess what? Sometimes going into constraint, you got to restrain this right here first. This mean a lot, man. This mean a lot when you can't constrain this. Because before we go to James chapter 4, we'll go to Proverbs chapter 4 right quick. Then we go back to James. All right? Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 23. It said, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. So out of your mind, right? Out of your mind brings the issues. This caused the issue first. Brother's got an issue, you know. Hey, yeah. Guess what? I'm gonna let you have it. But it shows inconsistency in brothers. When you see a brother get out of spirit, when you see a leader get out of spirit, or when you see a member get out of spirit, that's inconsistency, man. Right? And that's like something that in Israel we have to deal with, man. And then we say, guess what, man? We know things gonna come about. Brothers gonna have a few problems with brothers, man. But after we seen what we seen, guess what? It's a lot of people formulate a lot of things in their mind that don't really know about war tactics, don't know hand-to-hand combat, don't know nothing about restraining brothers, don't know nothing about diffusing the situation. But guess what they have? Everybody still got that mentality, and I wish a nigga would, right? And that's what get us in trouble, man. Let's go to James chapter 4 and verse 1, man. Whence come wars and fighting among you? Come they not hence, even of your lust that wars in your member? Because let's read this again. Oh, brothers and sisters, paying attention. It's the book of James chapter 4 and verse 1. It said, from whence come wars and fighting among you? Where is this war and fighting that we got among us, right? That's the reason why I read Proverbs 4 and 23, man, right? Because the issues in issue of your life comes out of your mind, right? So when we get these issues, this is what we get. This is what we get to the problem that we have, right? It says, the book of James chapter 4 and verse 1, from whence come wars and fighting among you? Come they not hence. It says, come they not hence. Don't come here. We don't want the fight and the war amongst us, right? Even of your lust that wars in your member. What is the lust that wars in your member? That's the things that you struggle with in your mind. The things that we struggle with on a day-to-day, right? This the things that we have a problem with, man, that we have to start controlling, man. Brothers got to start throwing more fasts up, man, more praying up, man. We need to, hey, if brothers from Sakari say, hey, make y'all like the brothers from WFI say, hey, let's make a decree that we need to get a fast, man. Start throwing these fasts up together as a nation. We want God to hear us, man, right? We want God to hear us, because this type of things that, guess what, we done watch went on for years. The brothers that been in the truth for a while, we watch this stuff going on for years. Camp against camp, man, right? And we done had a couple feuds in ourselves. We ain't above, guess what? And it's been times that, guess what, brothers done throw jabs at this camp, no jabs at that camp. Guess what, we done did it too. We all done did it. We not gonna throw a rock and hide our hand behind our back, because we all done did it, man. Every camp done throw the jab at somebody, another camp. And let's just make this be clear. Don't try to walk around like that. We holy than thou. Damn that, because we ain't none of us holy than thou, because we all done did this. Every camp done throw a jab at another camp before, right? But guess what? But when you, the difference between a reprobated mind, guess what? What do most reprobated mind people do? Say, for instance, a brother struggling with the Trinity doctrine, right? Every time you see him, his brother struggling with the Trinity doctrine, guess what? What get him out of the truth, he can't let the Trinity doctrine go. So the only thing he has to hold on to is the Trinity doctrine. And he just stay there, Every time you talk to him, guess what? The only thing he talk about is the Trinity doctrine over and over and over and over again. That's a reprobated mind. When somebody get fully set to talk about somebody else, guess what happened? They start talking about that person over and over and over and over and over again. They stuck there. That's reprobated, man. Right? That's a reprobated mind. Just look at where reprobated and repeat. It's the same thing, man. You repeating the same thing, you reprobated, right? Verse 2, man. James chapter 4 and verse 2. Ye lust and have not. Ye kill and desire to have and obtain and cannot obtain. Ye fight and war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not. Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lust. That's why a lot of times when we fast to the Lord, a lot of us, we ain't on one accord. We not on one accord with a fast. What are we fasting for? Strife. We fasting for growth. What we want to seal. We want to seal the hope for elect. We trying to seal the 144. What are we doing? You know we're not gonna see eye to eye right now. Guess what? That's why when the king come back, he gonna teach us all things. We'll be back in order, man. We'll be back in order in the kingdom. But we got to be striving first. We got to be first seeking ye the kingdom of heaven, right? Oh, that precept, man. Let's go to Job right quick, man. Let's go to Job. Chapter 27, man. Job chapter 27. Right? Job chapter 27 and verse it said the last couple video from Battle Axe have said stuff basically excluding white people. I didn't ask to be white, so what do I do? Go find your own kind, man. That's what you go do, man. Ain't nobody, just because you ain't asked to be white, guess what? We ain't asked to be Israelite, but the Lord made us this way. Guess what, man? You gotta do what you gotta do. You know, scriptures say what they say, man. Why every time y'all want to try to find a place where we at, go through the struggle we going through. You empty your bank account out and you spread your money out among Israel. Won't you do that? Take all your resources, John 5:77. Take all your resources and pass your resources around Israel. We got Sakari on here. We got all kind of camps on here on live with me right now. Get everybody cash app on here and bless everybody game, man. Won't you start by doing that first, man? Right? Then, guess what? Know your place in this world, man. Know your place and who you are. Know who you are. Know your place to us. Right? Won't you do that, man? Right? Job chapter 27, man. Start at verse 8, man. It says, for what is the hope of the hypocrites, though he had gain when God take it away his soul, right? It says, for what is the hope of the hypocrite, though he had gain when God take it away his soul, right? What's the hope for him when God take away his soul, man? Right? Verse 9, will God hear his cry when trouble come upon him? Will he delight himself in the Almighty? Will he always call upon God? Right? When a person gets up and start getting a better understanding of the Bible, start doing little stuff to grow, guess what? And maybe some of these people might grow in riches, man. Right? Will God continue to hear your prayers, man? Right? Look at the decisions that we make in this truth. Will God keep on hearing our prayers, man? Right? Will he continue to keep hearing our prayers? That's something that we need to start thinking about, man. The decision that we make. Guess what? We're going to make a decision that God going to hear our prayers, or we're going to make a decision that God's not going to hear our prayers, man. All right? Verse 11. I will teach you by the hand of God that which is with the Almighty will I not conceal, right? Behold, all ye yourselves have seen it. And why when then are ye thus altogether vain? So this is what the Lord is saying. Like us in this truth. A lot of us, guess what, man? A lot of us, we in this truth, keeping these commandments, doing what we got to do. But guess what happened? A lot of us got our own vain thoughts, got our own vain understanding. Guess what? We got certain stuff that go on with us that we know. Guess what? That's not good for us, man. Right? It said, I'm kind of pleading for some help that's intense. Guess what, man? John 5:77, y'all cold. Guess what? I don't normally block people from the page. I don't try to block people from the page, man. Bro, you looking for sympathy, man. Take your ass over to your churches, man. Find a sympathy over there, man. Ain't no sympathy over here in Israel, man. You Esau, man. Ain't no sympathy over there, man. Over here, man. You think you ain't did enough, man? Man. Find somewhere else, man. Looking for some sympathy, man. You can go sympathy, man. This lake of fire, man. Right? Let's go back to James chapter 4, man. No love for you over here, man. Why Esau always come looking for love for us? And then, but guess what? But when you throw out some stuff that they should do, and that they can do, guess what? Get what Esau to do. No, I don't want to do that. Well, you don't, guess what? Get on out of our face. Get out of our face, Esau. Right? James chapter 4, verse 3. Ye adulterers and adulteresses. Damn, I can't even get that right word out. Know ye not that this friendship of the world is enmity with God, and whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. Do ye think that the scripture said, in vain the spirit that dwelleth in us lust to envy? But he giveth more grace. Wherefore he said, God resisted the proud, but giving grace unto the humble, right? Because God do resist the proud, man. Right? He resists the proud, man. Right? You guys are right about Edom, but Israel are the modern day Jews. History is not on your side. The Jews were diaspora throughout Greece, Rome. There were no blacks people in Greece. Man, you don't know history. That's another person getting on here just scoffing because that person don't know history, right? He don't even know about the land of Nigeria. That was supposed to be going into a so-called slave port where they were shipping into Britain and Greece and Rome, so-called blacks. What about the Dark Ages before then, when blacks ruled Europe for 1,000 years? That's why a person, you just getting on this scoffing, man, right? Man, don't get it twisted, man. We got some Sakari historians on this mug, and you know they about their life, man, right? Big con officer, right? That's why, like you say, get back to the video and do the recap again. 2 camps right beside each other. First problem. Second problem. One camp blasts another camp on the mic. That's the second problem. The third problem, guess what? Brother grabbed the chair. Brother jaked the chair from him. When the brother jaked the chair from him, that's the third problem. The fourth problem, brother pushed that brother for jaking the chair from him. That's 4 problems before the altercation erupted. Right? 4 problems before the altercation erupted. Now, after they jaked the chair from him, right? After he jaked the chair from him, what happened after that? He pushes him. Collide, right? Some brothers coming in there grabbing, trying to constrain to pull them down. Some brothers coming in there swinging, right? Right? Some brothers come in here trying to defuse the situation. Some brothers in there trying to fight. Guess what? In any given time, guess what? When you see all these, you just think about it. It started after when the fight broke out. Guess what, brothers? There was a couple brothers from IUIC, they were swinging. There was a couple brothers from IUIC, there was a brothers from IUIC, they were grabbing. And then if you notice, guess what? How IUIC did it? It was one, they put a group of brothers on one brother right here, a group of brothers on one brother over here, a group of brothers on one brother over here, a group of brothers on one brother over here, a group of brothers on one. You see, they were spreading them apart, right? Trying to defuse the situation. Then guess what happened? Bring, call the police, right? A lot of people was offended by that they called the police. We got one question to ask in this situation. What would have happened if they would have let them brothers up? What would have happened? What would have happened if they would have let them brothers up? Would them brothers would have walked away peacefully? Would them brothers would have walked away peacefully, Shalom Ehud? Would them brothers would have walked away peacefully, or would they would have continued to fight? Think about it. What would have happened if them brothers were able to let them brothers go? Now, a lot of brothers, we gonna go into that too. Paul and Barnabas, right? They had contentions too. But Paul and Barnabas, yeah, they had contentions too. But what would the question is, what would have happened if IUIC would have let ISUPK up? Would them brothers would have walked away? That's the question. Would they would have walked with ISUPK? Would they would have walked away? Put the comments in the comment board. I want to see, would the ISUPK, would they would have walked away, or would they would have kept trying to fight? What if they would have let them go, and then one of the brothers went to their car, being out the spirit, got a gun and come back? This is what the Lord say. Watch this. While brothers put in the comments, what would have happened if ISUPK would able to let ISUPK? What would have happened? It says some of the brothers ain't been saving too long. They would still cling up to men and realize they are detoxing the world. Nope, they would have been trying to fight. Yep, IUIC was supposed to turn the other cheek. That was already addressed. We already said they were supposed to turn the other cheek. Guess what? Let's go back through the recap, Michael Smith. First thing, what happened when we first seen the video, right? Two camps right beside each other. That means somebody out of spirit from the top. Two camps standing beside each other. The first thing going wrong, two camps right beside each other teaching. That's the first thing going wrong. Somebody out of the spirit. Right? The second thing was going on, guess what? ISUPK on the mic blasting IUIC. Listen to the video. I know, man, I know brothers looking at the same video I looked at. You got to be looked at the same video. The third thing went wrong when that brother went try to touch that chair. The brother from IUIC tried to touch this chair. The brother from ISUPK snatched the chair from him. The brother from IUIC pushes that brother. And then the altercation begins. Right? Doing the recap. This is what the Lord says before. This was during Cain and Abel. So that lets you know that the laws was here way before then. Even though we know going into the sacrifices, when the Lord made an atonement for Adam, way in Genesis chapter 1, right? Genesis chapter 2, 3. Genesis chapter 3, right? So, Genesis chapter 4, watch this. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 7. It says, if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. So it goes, and listen what the scripture's telling us. Guess what? If we do well, the Lord said we will be accepted. But then the Lord said, guess what else? If you do it not well, sin lied at the door and it's going to have dominion over you, right? The sin going to have a straight up dominion over us if we do it not well, right? So what happened when you blow the smoke, blow the, what you call it? When you blow the spark, what happened? You on fire. You catch something on fire. I got a little burn barrel right up back of me. I guarantee you, I can shake that little burn barrel, let the wind catch in that mug, get the smoking again. Right? Yeah, IUIC will call the police on their brothers if it's a crime. Yeah, IUIC call the police on them. But that was the question. What would have happened if they would have let them brothers up? What would have happened? What would have happened if IUIC would have let them brothers off their ground and they said, man, you know what, brother, y'all just gone on? What would have happened? You think them brothers still be trying to fight, or you think them brothers be ready? Them brothers would have walked off, right? You think them brothers would have walked off? Go to Acts chapter 15, man. Acts chapter 15. Start at verse 36. This is Paul and Barnabas, right? He said, and some days after Paul said unto Barnabas, let's go up again and visit our brethren in every city where we were preaching the word of the Lord to see how they were doing. So this is Paul asking Barnabas. They not into it about nothing at this point. But I know people wanted to bring this point up about Acts chapter 15, but they wasn't into it at this time. Right? They wasn't into it at this time, right? Guess what? Before them brothers got into a fight, before the ISUPK got into a fight. Before the altercation, I'm not gonna call it a fight. It was an altercation. Before the altercation happened, right? Before the altercation happened. It was two people already out. It was some people out the spirit before then, right? Because people putting, man, they going against my camp. Yeah, they going against your camp. Now you mad because they going against your camp. Yeah, I know. You mad enough to swing, huh? Right? But I know a lot of people gonna use this, Acts chapter 15, verse 36. Verse 15, verse 36 on down. And then, so Paul asked Barnabas, let's go to the places that we done already taught it to see how these people doing, right? And Barnabas determined to take with them John, whose surname was Mark. So only thing Barnabas wanted to do was take Mark with him, right? Said, okay, then he telling Paul, bet I'll go with you, but I won't take Mark with me, right? Watch this. But Paul thought not good to take with him them who departed from Pamphylia and went not with them to do the work. So Paul said, no, we're not taking Mark, because Mark departed from us and he didn't want to do no work, right? He said, we're not taking him, right? In verse 39, and contentions was so sharp between them that they departed asunder one from another. So Barnabas took Mark and sailed to Cyprus, and Paul took Silas and departed, being recommended by the brethren unto the grace of God. And he went through Syria and Cilicia, confirming the churches, right? So, only thing that what happened, yeah, they had contentions. They had big contentions. Guess what? They went, it said it was so sharp. You can imagine what them brothers were saying to each other, right? You can imagine what them brothers were saying to each other. Probably cussing each other out. Hey, brothers, and you ain't nothing. We ain't finna be dealing with this brother. He ain't been doing the work. Right? He ain't been doing this, right? Watch this. Watch this. Proverbs chapter 17. Proverbs chapter 17, verse. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 14. The beginning of strife it said the beginning of strife. Look how this reading. It said the beginning of strife, right? What is the beginning of strife? Right? 17 and verse 14. It said the beginning of strife is when one let it water out. Y'all see how they go? It means tongue wrestle, swap and spit, back and forth. That's the beginning of strife, right? One was if. Yeah, that's what a lot of people. That's what they say. That's right. Both camp wasn't in order. We agree with it. It was already, but as it went on, guess what? Brothers were trying to calm things down, and I'm glad that they got things calmed down before it got too hectic, before it got bad, because it could have got bad. It really could have got bad for brothers out there, right? It could have got straight bad, right? But this is how strife began. We're gonna let it read. The book of Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 4. It said, the beginning of strife is as when one let it water out. Therefore, leave off contentions before it is meddled with. It says to leave off contentions before it is meddled with. It was already contentious. There were two camps in one spot teaching. It was contentions there when one camp is on the mic telling another camp, hey, talking down on another camp. That's contention number 2 on one side. Guess what? Contentions. There was two contentious things on ISUPK side. Guess what? It was when the brother moved that chair, and I asked the brother from ISUPK. That's the third contentious thing that they did. The one contentious thing that the IUIC brother did, which was totally out of order. Cause guess I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know how brothers feel about me or how brothers feel about brothers in the truth. Guess what, man? I pray to the Most High God keep my spirit in check. Cause if a brother push me, I'm gonna pop his ass. I'm telling you, that's how I roll. And I try my best to stay in the spirit, right? But if you push me, that's where it's at. Guess what? That brother pulled that chair back from that brother. That brother pushed that brother. That brother was wrong. Simple as that. Simple as that. That brother was dead wrong. He should have never pushed that brother. Guess what? And that's what the fault. That's the fault IUIC played in the role that they had the biggest part of that when that brother pushed that brother. He should have never pushed him. He was totally out of line for that, man. Right? And that's why the Lord said, telling us this on this last part on Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 14. He said, and therefore on the last part, he said, and therefore leave off contention before it is meddled with, right? We got to leave that contentions off, man, right? Before it's meddled with. Verse 15, he that justified the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord. That's why we can't play the games. If them brothers wrong, they dead wrong. Simple as that, man. Right? Man, we can't live on what ifs, man. If it was a fifth, man, we all be drunk, man. We going by, Shalom. We going by what we seen. We going by what we seen, man. We literally seen those things, man. Right? We literally seen the video, and that's the video we addressing. We addressing the video that we seen, man. Right? Now, you know Israel loves some drama, man. Right? We know Israel loves some drama, man. I'm talking about Israel loves some drama. Yeah, Israel loves some drama, man. And it makes no sense. Right? Big con on that, man. Right? That's why we talking about the beginning of strife, man. Let me go. Hebrews chapter 12, man. Hebrews chapter 12, man. Let me straighten my camera slipping or something. There you go. Watch this. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 14, man. All right. The book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 14. Follow peace with all men and holiness without which no man shall see the Lord, looking diligently lest any man fail of the grace of God, lest at any root of bitterness spring up trouble you, and thereby many may be defiled, right? I'm gonna read that over because I read it regularly. The book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 14. Follow peace with all men, and in holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord, looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of God, lest any of the root of bitterness spring up trouble you, and thereby may be defiled. So we got to look at what we do wrong, because this bitterness can trouble us. These things that spring up in our mind, guess what? The stuff that goes on in our day-to-day, guess what? Those are things that the Lord told we got to start looking upon those things, man. Making sure that we stay our stuff right too, man. Right? Michael Smith, we just doing a recap on it, and we gonna go into that too. But I understand it said stop doing what led to the fight. You ain't gonna control our platform either, right? But we appreciate your comment, but I mean, you ain't gonna control the platform, right? Who do you think will win the fight between Bishop? Man, come on, man. Greg Howard, come on, man. Man, what's that gonna solve about Bishop Nathaniel and General Yohana fight, man? That's madness, man. That's total madness that you'll come on here, start saying some stuff like that, man. Right? That's total madness, man. Right? So we can't, this was like we read up in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 15, man. Guess what, man? We don't want the root of bitterness to spring up in Israel just because we seen, like you say, seen the fight. Right? It said, and they have never called. It's an important rule. Do not touch other belonging and keep your hands to yourself. Something IUIC did not do and had the nerve to call non-oppressor. To speak evil of no man. Right? Okay. Let's address that too. Yeah. They like we said, we pointed out all the obvious. They shouldn't guess what? He touched the man's chair, the man jaked the chair back. Guess what? The man pushed him. So I tell you, guess what? We feel like the man was wrong for pushing him. That caused a fight to break out. That thing right there. But it was so many things. That's why the Lord said, woe to them that caused the offense too. That's why he ain't gonna miss the person that offended you. He ain't gonna miss them, but if you the one that causing the offense, he ain't gonna miss you either. Don't think the Lord just gonna quit you, man. Right? It's not, like I say, it is not our camp leaders. It's not our leaders who we follow. We follow the Mashiach Yahushua, man. Right? Let's go to Luke chapter 9, man. Luke chapter 9, verse 28. And it reads, said, and it came to pass about 8 days after these, saying, he took Peter, John, and James, and they went up into the mountain to pray. This is Yahushua took them up into the mountain to pray, right? And as he prayed, the fashion of his countenance was altered, and his raiment was white and glistening. And behold, there talking with him 2 men, which was Moses and Elias, who appeared in glory and spake of his decease which he should accomplish at Jerusalem, right? But Peter and they that were with him were heavy with sleep. And when they were awoke, they saw his glory and the 2 men that stood with him, right? That's them looking at. It's Peter looking at Christ, looking at Moses, looking at Elias, right? And it said, and it came to pass that as they departed from him, Peter said unto Jesus, to Yahushua, Master, Is it good for us to be here? Let us make the 3 altars, one for thee, one for Moses, one for Elias, and one, and not knowing what he's saying. So guess what? Thinking about how the two, right? Thinking about how Peter, the head apostle, right? We ain't talking about somebody that's a rinky-dink person that Christ just not teaching right today. We talking about somebody, Peter, the head apostle. When Christ left, say, Peter, you in charge, right? We talking about Peter, right? Peter came to Christ and telling him, look, oh, I see you, Lord, I see you, I see Moses, and I see Elias. Guess what? Let's bring it up today right now. Let's bring this up today right now. If we look at them, they both scoffing. Got full of folly. If they the leaders up. It said you follow chief high priest something. The leader. Yeah, he said he'll debate anyone on that. I don't know what you mean by that. Guess what? That's the reason why we reading. That's why we reading Luke chapter 9 and verse 28, right? And we reading on down. So watch this. So guess what? We do follow Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. Watch this, man. But see, this is the difference between us. Let's bring this up to today. Now, we got these camp leaders, right? We got all these camp leaders. And a lot of people want to build an altar for the camp leader. Don't build an altar for us, this a camp leader. No. We're going to see what the Lord say. Do we build an altar for our camp leaders? Or do we follow Yahushua? Let's watch this. The book of Luke chapter 9, verse 33. And it come to pass, as they departed from him, Peter said unto Yahushua, Master, is it good for us to be here? Let us make thee 3 tabernacles, one for thee, one for Moses, one for Elias, and not one for Elias, not knowing what he said, right? Verse 34. This is the answer. This is the answer. While he thus spake, there came a cloud overshadowing them, and they feared as they entered into the cloud. And there came a voice out of the cloud saying, This is my beloved son. Hear him. Because at the end of the day, no matter what camp leader or what camp you gonna be with, we gonna listen to Yahushua, right? We gonna listen to Christ, right? Over every camp leader, we gonna let God be true and let every man be a liar, man. Right? Because Peter them thought just because they seen Moses is a man. He seen Elias, damn, Elias is a man. But guess what? They seen them Elias and Moses in their glory. Because Christ was dealing with Moses and Elias, guess what? In the celestial body, right? He was dealing with them in another dimension. He showed Peter them this, man. Christ literally transfigured before them to show them this, right? He didn't show this to everybody. He showed Peter, James, and John them, man, right? And guess what? When he was in there doing it, and he was in the middle of his glory, guess what? And they tried to build an altar for Moses, Yahushua, and Elias. The Most High God stepped in and told them, no, fool. He ain't called Peter no fool, but he was like, no, Christ is my beloved. Yahweh was saying, yeah, Yahushua is my beloved son. Y'all listen to him. Why? Because he gonna do the will of the Father, man. This is why he told him to believe that. He said, because he gonna do the will of the Father. That's why he told him. He said, no, Christ is my beloved son. Hear him, man. Right? That's why we got to make sure we keep ourselves in madness, man. Dexter, you are. Michael Smith, what's the problem, man? What's Michael Smith talking about, man? Yeah. right? That's what we lean on, man. We lean on your house shop, man, right? Brothers just scoffing, man. I mean, what's the problem, Michael Smith? Don't answer your question, man. Cause it seems like you a little rattled, man. What's the precept, man? What you got a problem with, man? Right? We addressing our nation, and guess what? We addressing our nation, and Esau trying to find a way to get in. We addressing our nation, guess what? And you got brothers saying madness and follies on the comment board, man. We addressing our nation, man. Instead of brothers wanting to get edified and go through the scriptures, man, to get understanding of stuff. Guess what brothers want to do? Want to come with ignorance and trickery, man. Right? Michael Smith, what's the problem, man? What question he got? Let me see what question he got. What's the question he got? I mean, we trying to figure it out, man. Cause what we doing, we going through the scripture, man. Right? Now we in the spirit, because we gonna let these scriptures, man. We gonna let these scriptures talk, man. This is how you get scoffers under control, man. We let God be true and let every man be a liar. You see, first of all, I ain't got no leader named Chief Priest Aria, and he'll say he'll debate anybody on that. He'll debate anybody on what? On what? What would he debate somebody on? Let's figure that out first. He said, I think he mean re-metal. So he'll debate anybody on what, Michael Smith? Right? Watch this. This is what Paul was writing to Rome, but it was through the Spirit of the Most High, right? The book of Romans chapter 12, verse 16. Be of the same mind one towards another, right? Mind not high things, but condensed to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own consent. And that was the problem with some brothers, man. It was rise to their own. I know, for real. And they said, be not wise in your own conceit, right? Yeah. I was trying to see what brother was going into, but we're going to read this out. Romans chapter 12, verse 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. And that's the problem that both of the camps had. They didn't provide things honest in the sight of all men. Right? They should have been of one of verse 6. I'm going to read that at verse 16. Be of the same mind one towards another. And that's how we should have been. That's how them brothers should have been. They should have been of the same mind one towards another, man. Right? Right? I'm trying to figure out. Hey, Michael Smith, you said Aria debate anybody on that. He would debate anybody on what? What would he debate anybody on? I want to hear that. Romans chapter 12, verse 17. He said, recompense no man evil for evil, right? Provide things honest in the sight of all men. He said, if it be possible. Listen at the scripture. It said, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourself, but rather give place unto wrath. It means giving place unto wrath. It means giving place unto the Most High. Because the Lord said, what vengeance is mine, right? He said, give place unto wrath. Why? And he's going to say exactly what I just said, right? For it is written, vengeance is mine, and I will repay, said the Lord. So, on their part, guess what? On their part, like you say, with IUIC, they try to constrain them brothers, but they had part in it too, right? That brother should have never pushed their brother. That took it to another level. Them brothers were dead wrong for pushing that brother. So when they pushed that man for I guess grabbing his chair, they pushed that man. Guess what? And then it just seemed like it just erupted to the point that they had to restrain somebody, and that's the problem. That's when the problem came in, right? Right? Yeah, because sometimes people, and you can look at, hey, Christian Morrow, read Proverbs 18:6. It said, mouth run into contention, and they mouth calling for strokes, right? We ain't erasing your comments. Ain't nobody finna erase your comments. You said that he's gonna debate us on what, right? That man, YouTube probably erasing your comments because you probably saying some vulgar stuff, right? I'm gonna read it out. Romans chapter 12, verse 18 now. It said, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men, right? Dearly beloved, avenge not yourself, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, and I will repay, said the Lord. Therefore, if my enemy's hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For if so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head, but not overcome evil, but overcome evil with good, man. And that's why I hope these brothers finna learn how to, guess what, man? Us as brethren, guess what, man? And this is not a decree for battle axes or even for Israel, man. But if brothers want to throw a fast and prayer for them brothers, man, to get their spirit in the right check, man, the right order, guess what, man? It said, why? It said, IUIC is threatening me. Stop erasing my comments, IUIC. This not an IUIC page. They can't erase your comments, man. IUIC is threatening me. Why are you wrathful? Michael Smith, what the hell are you talking about? This dude is bugged out, man. Right? This dude is straight bugged out like a mug, man. Right? I know. Man, thank you, brothers and sisters, tuning in, man. Like and share the video, man. Help us push the truth around the four corners of the earth, man. And read this law, man. I'm finna get up out of here, man. Like you say, I hope them brothers repent, man. I hope them brothers straight up repent, man. And pray that the Most High God don't take them out of this truth, man. You know, we gotta make our God. We gotta make our God proud of us, man. We gotta show the world, guess what, man, how we can move and guess what, as a nation. Guess what, man? And not just that, brothers and sisters, we gotta show the world how we can fall and get back up again, man. We gotta show the world how Israel can make a mistake, you know, in not just in ISCPK, but in IUIC, they can make a mistake. Guess what? And they can get up and fall. Guess what? If Battle Axe make a mistake, we can get up and fall. I mean, we can get up after our fall. If one body make a mistake, they can get up after they fall. If Sakari make a mistake, they can get up after they fall, man. If WFI, if any camp make a mistake, they can get up after they fall. We can show the world how we supposed to move with our God, man. We ain't got to stay down at a lower state because you seen a video and the stuff floating around. It ain't got to stay down, man. We can get up and keep on fighting, man. And this is what our job to do, man. It's to, guess what, to bring our edification, is to come in and guess what, come in and bring thus said the Lord to our people. And guess what, to show, guess what, our nation did, guess what, the people that's new in this truth, we can show them that, guess what, man, yeah, we failed, but we back up on our stuff again, man, right? But we got to be doing this thing, working in the right spirit, man, right? Michael Smith, you said IUIC is blocking your page. That's a bugged out comment, and you on the Battle Axe page, man. That is bugged out, man. And I asked you what the guy wanted, and you still ain't answered the question, man. I know that's crazy, man. I was waiting for a brother to bring some questions, and he had no question. I guess he just all comments, man. All right? Don't worry about it. Watch this. This is what we do with Michael Smith. That's why I ain't got to do it, Yaakov. I did it myself. All right? You go to law for the night, man. The book of Leviticus, man, chapter 19 and verse 17. It says, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord, man. We just got to keep getting up, man. Keep on fighting, man. And show, guess what, man? And show them, guess what? Israel's time to show some decorum, man. It's time to show some decorum. It's time to show how what real love feels like, man. Yeah, brothers fight against brothers. Guess what? Brothers can forgive brothers. Brothers can love brothers after a fight. Guess what? Brothers can come back together. You know what? We all right, man. You know, let's get up to fight some more. We ain't got to stay down, man, just because situation arise in our nation. That's not the end of the world because that video floating around, man. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be more stuff floating around, man. But is we gonna stay down? We gonna get up, man? Right? Brothers apply. Guess what? They got a problem with each other. Apply Matthew 18:15 on down. Guess what? If that don't work, guess what? At the end of the day, guess what? Salute them and keep on going, man. Your brother apply Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17 through 18. Guess what? We can get up out of our situation, man. And we ain't got to stay down and stay hurt about a situation because guess what, man? Just because I love you, don't mean I got to deal with you. We can move around with each other. Guess what? Because the Lord said we'll see each other eye to eye. We're going to see eye to eye when he make it, not when we got our stuff going right now. So I just pray that them brothers, man, can get themselves together and come up on some kind of council that they can get things in order and show that love back as a nation, man. Thanks for everybody for tuning in tonight. Like and share the video, man. Help us push the truth around the four corners of the earth, man. And with that, we're going to say shalom, man.